Yeah. Right? I think so. Yes, it's it is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. And it is Wednesday, Punchy TV Day. Punchy TV Day. The 15th of, that's not my photography, by the way. The 5th, look at all that bird poop. It just, but it looks nice still. How come their poop it still looks, anyway, never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. It doesn't look nice when it lands on you. Not that it's ever landed on me, but it landed on my wrestling teammate one time. The 15th of October, AD 2025. We're going to get going here on the Hake Report. The views expressed on Hake, even by Hake, do not represent Hake. I do not even represent myself. So I disclaim everything that that is expressed here on the Hake Report, because one, sometimes I don't even know what I mean. Sometimes, like later, or even, you become a little bit unconscious. So how about a little grace? Hey guys, show Fernando a little grace. And the same thing with the callers. My goodness, I do try to reel them in a little bit, but it's like a bucking bronco. Wee-haw. And the super chats and all that stuff. So thank you guys for the support. Of course, you can super chat, buymeacoffee.com/JLPtalk, as well as other places. Let me refresh to make sure the D-Live is kicked on. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm live on multiple platforms, as you may know, even BitChute, BITCHUTE, and Punchy.tv, not to be confused with Punchy TV, the show, which is also findable via Punchy.tv. Mine is Punchy.tv/Hake, and you can call in. Some of you guys are already on hold, 1-888-775-3773. And I disclaim this video too. I disclaim and disavow this video because this is seen months ago, before I knew that I couldn't do that, on the wrong side of the fence. This is Marine land. Marines are supposed to train there, not Hake supposed to walk there and record. So, sorry. But anyway, I don't cross lines that are not meant to be crossed. I don't trespass knowingly. I mean, there was a sign that indicated sort of like it's sort of questionable, but everybody was doing it, even good people with their dogs. So anyway, whatever. That's San Onofre, by the way. There's the northern area you can go on, and this area no longer. There's razor wire, concertina wire, whatever. Nice. So, whatever. Thank you to Pastor Chatelet and JLP rating the stream on YouTube and Rumble. Right? We're going to get going here. I will be getting to your calls. And like I said, the super chats as well. Buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Yeah, I'm going to be on Modern Day Debate, guys. That's pretty cool. Modern Day Debate. If you go to thehakereport.com, you may see the announcement there. Coming up this Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Figure it out if you're in Mountain Time, because there's Mountain Standard Time. There's also Mountain Daylight Time. And it's a big mess. In a few weeks here, we're going to be changing times, because we're going to fall back for a few to several months. Fall back. Beginning of November, I believe it is, in America, for those of us who observe daylight saving time. It's going to go from daylight saving time, which is an hour ahead, which is what we are right now, fall back to to Pacific Standard Time, or to Standard Time. Nice. So whatever. But anyway, Modern Day Debate, the 18th. Ladies, Women's Forum tomorrow. Very nice. Recommended, ladies. For ladies only, of course. rebuildingtheman.com/events. So anyway, everybody, let's just get right on with a busy, or loosey-goosey show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine, and I do have a prototype, I guess you would call it, from a fan/friend of the fellow fan/friend of JLP, Jesse Lee Peterson 2024. If you go to jesseleepeterson.shop, I suppose there is a different version of this. It says rebuilding the country by rebuilding the man. No, it's the line for Bond is actually rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Wouldn't it be interesting though? JLP for president. I think he's doing great right where he is, where he belongs. Pointing the way. Nice. You know, it is interesting. I was pondering Popcorn's thump kegs confusion regarding JLP's "It's Time to Divide" comments. And it's akin, his confusion is akin to the confusion of the Pharisees or whatever they were called, the ones who were trying to catch Jesus in his words and didn't understand him. And they were kind of like Nicodemus almost. Nicodemus was one of the Pharisees. He seemed to like Jesus. He went to him secretly at night, and he's like, born again? Surely you cannot enter a second time into your mother's womb and be born again, because Jesus said you must be born again to Nicodemus. And it's kind of like that with Popcorn's thump keg. It's like he has a hard, fast idea about the words spoken, and an idea about what history was and is, an idea about what's in people's minds and intentions. And he's asking about what he means, but he's unwilling to accept what he means, and can't engage in what he's talking about or the examples given. He goes to something else, but he thinks he's on topic, but he's not, because he's an intellectual stuck in his head. Interesting. So JLP and Popcorn, they're like on two different levels of communication. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, hey guys, JLP 2024 T and modern day debate coming up. It's been a little while. Pretty cool. You know, I called Maze a priority caller yesterday because I did not get to her yesterday, and she was on hold. And there were other callers who were on hold, Rick in Hampton, VA, and Stephen in Maryland. So Maze is, as you know, my favorite caller from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. And I may or may not be saying it facetiously. Some people take it so seriously. They're like, she's evil. And they're mad that I'm calling her my favorite caller. And it's not that serious. So anyway, American Anchor Baby, by the way, should be happening today, okay, after the Hake Report. The redirect is set, and he ought to be here in the studio. And nice, FYI, side note. But Maze is here on the line, I do believe. She was told to call back, so thank you for calling back, Maze, and holding there. How you doing? Hey.
I'm doing just marvelous.
Nice.
Well, I have a question. Why? I mean, I don't want to tell you how to run your show. There's somebody to do. I always want to tell you how to do things.
Right.
They like Johnny come lately. Get upset by Big Bump. Somebody give him something to educate himself on. They're going to get upset about that. Get upset about everything except he wants to bring things about whose house look like what. All he got to do is go to a cleaning service that the clean houses, and he'll be in a state of shock for some of the stuff that those people have to clean in houses.
Yeah, that's gross, huh?
They don't look like me. The ones who look like him would be shamed. So with that, and then when you hear these people talking about welfare and Social Security, like the dummy that was on Jesse, did he know that they take money out of his check for Social Security? They need to get rid of it.
I think he may know that, but they still should get rid of it. That's
why they think everybody's on the system. And everybody
but the government wants everybody on the system. The liberal communists do want everybody on the system.
How you on the system when you putting your money into the system?
Because it's being wasted in the system, and they want you to be desperate and dependent on them so that they can swoop in and control you and all that stuff. Oh, here, where did I go?
When you pay your taxes, you're paying into the system. The system is not giving you anything, right? So if you never work, you wouldn't understand it.
What?
If you never work, you wouldn't understand how the system worked anyway. You always talk about people and welfare and Social Security and all this stuff. And then
but you don't have to be in the system or on the system or whatever in order to know how it works. You can read. People can read, Maze.
No, they can explain it to a T. So are they on those systems that they talk about all the time?
Not necessarily.
Some people don't even know it. Don't care about that.
You can explain it without being on it.
What? Oh, really? But I guarantee
really.
Some of those that complain about it benefiting from it.
Huh?
Some of those that are complaining about it benefiting from it.
So what? That doesn't make right. It doesn't make right wrong and wrong right. Just because somebody's benefiting from something that he's complaining about or criticizing doesn't mean that right is not right and wrong is not wrong, Mace.
Would you want to work for free?
No, not necessarily. Well, sometimes, maybe.
That's volunteers do that, not people that's doing a job.
Yeah.
What I was saying, what the American people should do is everybody.
But what's your point? What's your point about working for free?
Everybody just shut the government down. Just everybody walk off their jobs.
That's dumb.
This is being done anyway.
But that's their fault because they overspent the government.
How is it their fault?
Because the government's fault for overspending, and then the government so-called workers' fault for working for a government that overspends. So-called working. Yeah.
I thought these people were sent there to work for the people, not against them. So I'm looking at
Well, they don't. They don't work for the people. They work against the people.
So when are you going to wake up? And then this person that was saying...
Oh, you're talking about Trump? Trump is working for the people, not against them. The government workers are the government so-called workers are the ones working against the people.
Why do you always implement Trump and stuff when I'm talking to you? I ain't even talking about Trump.
I know, but you said the government...
implementing.
I just want to be clear on who's working against the people as opposed to working for the people. Trump is working for the people. The rest of the people are working against the people.
Your point of view.
Obviously.
That's your point of view. That's what
it's a clear, beautiful point of view, and you know it. That's why you're a faithful caller.
You have the right to do that.
Yep.
And so, and then this person that said, like, why are they concerned about me? Is what I'm saying. I'm on their head or something. They more concerned about what I have to say with the conversation with you and Big Bump and whoever. See, David Ocala came and told you about that man that's going to prison that messed with the 12-year-old girl. Did I say that first, or did David Ocala say something about it?
David and Ocala mentioned it.
No, I said something about it before he did.
Oh, you did?
So if I don't know if you do some research and if you were like...
we can't catch everything that you say because you rattle off so much stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say it like this. If you was on an assembly line working for Tesla, you was missing out on things. So that's why you do the things that you do. You didn't get the understanding of how to research and do things and find out for yourself, and always have to have somebody to tell you how it to be done. So if you stay at the park and get in the books, either whatever way you find some research.
Maze.
You need to work on yourself.
Big Bump sent me a super chat saying that you lied on Monday. Head Start was founded in 1965, and the Black Panther Party was founded in 1966.
Did I say when they were founded?
I don't know.
I said Black Panther Party came up with the Head Start.
They came up with Head Start. How did they come up? Did the Black Panther Party come up with Head Start before Black Panther Party? Before they came up with the Black Panthers?
It was called something before that.
What was called something before that? The Black Panthers?
No, Head Start.
Head Start. Oh, so it was called something else, and then it was called Head Start. But the idea, the actual action was the same, though, right?
The actual action was done by the Black Panthers.
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care.
You don't know, and Big Bump don't know, and he's not trying to find out. So
no, he did just find out. Head Start history. The Head Start program began as an 8-week demonstration project designed to help break the cycle of poverty. Give me a break.
They adopted what the Black Panthers had started, James. That's what I'm trying to say. But tell Big Bump.
But it was started before the Black Panthers even existed.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. According to this little thing.
According to Big Bump and what y'all put in the book.
Big Bump.
Yes, but Big Bump can take
care
of
Big Bump is a slightly more reliable source, although he has been wrong sometimes, than you are, Maze.
Make some reliable.
Maze, you say stuff that's false quite commonly.
Tell me something that I said was false.
I am glad you asked.
I always tell you to look it up, and don't tell me nothing about Emmett Till.
No, I am going to tell you about Emmett Till.
That's where you want to go.
I want to tell you that you stated without having any way of knowing that the woman who accused Emmett Till of grabbing her or shouting at her or saying dirty things to her or threatening her or whatever, you claimed, without having any way of knowing that it's true, that she recanted and admitted that she lied when there is no evidence that she recanted or admitted that she lied. There's just one so-called journalist's word against her daughters.
Oh, it's the so-called.
Yeah.
The so-called. I thought you said there was nothing to prove it.
There's no evidence to prove it.
Oh, well, okay, because you don't look.
I looked.
Evidence. Okay, what did Emmett Till cousin say?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's all I had to do with. But let Big Bump get big enough to take.
But my point stands that you said something that there's no proof.
You still haven't proved me wrong.
I did prove you wrong.
And for you to do it.
Nuh-uh, because you claim that she lied, and you have no way of proving that she lied.
She did before she died. She did.
What?
So let's leave it at that. She told the truth before she died.
No proof.
And as I was saying,
she told the truth before she died. Was she telling the truth when he grabbed her? When she said he grabbed her?
If she said that she lied, of course.
But she didn't say that she lied. There's no proof that she said that she lied.
Say? If there's a reporter out there and his cousin wrote a book, what is that if it's not proof?
His cousin may not be telling. Why do you believe the cousin and the journalist?
What?
Why do you believe the cousin and the journalist?
Why do I believe the cousin? Maybe back in the time when it was written, because back in those days you couldn't tell the truth and it be known. You had to put it somewhere so somebody could see the truth. Because of the laws, the way the laws were working back then.
What?
Mhm. They could put a crime on you that you didn't commit, and you had no place to go by looking like what we're looking at today and things that's happening.
So that's your you're saying that blacks had to pretend they had to lie and agree with the whites' lies back in the day?
No, the judicious is the government.
The government was lying back in the day. So you don't really know anything then.
Oh yes, but what I want you to do.
You don't really know anything, just like I don't know.
I want you to look up the Black Panthers and how that program got started, and that will take care of what Big Bump is trying to tell you. I want you to see for yourself, educate yourself on it, and not Big.
But what if I don't? What if I don't even know or care what Head Start is, and I don't even agree with the notion of Head Start? Black Panthers apparently sound like communists, lame-o mamas.
Go. And what is a communist?
A communist is a mama, a evil type of mama, not the good kind of mama.
You know that makes no sense, James.
Yeah, It makes tons of sense.
What kind of sense do it make?
Don't make no sense means it does make some sense.
I have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you something, and you're not listening. You say I'm going too fast.
Yeah.
But when I say something, it's just like your report you did about the thing in Carolina in the shooting. Guess who was doing that shooting from a boat? And 4 people got shot.
I'm gonna guess it was a white person.
I don't know. I want you to find out and tell me.
So you don't know?
When you have amnesia, I want you to tell me so you can tell me, just like David O'Callaghan came back and told you what I already said.
Well, I don't remember. You want credit?
Yeah,
Good, congratulations, Maze. You know that some white man allegedly did. Was he guy white? The Trump guy?
I want you to find out.
The Trump guy with the 12-year-old, was he white?
Oh, that was the preacher. That was Trump's preacher. I mean, that his what you call him? His
Oh, he was a preacher who did that something with the 12-year-old allegedly?
Yes, he went to jail. But you don't want to talk about that.
Because it's gross, and I don't care. I don't know anything about it.
Why you didn't tell Dave that yesterday when he was telling you?
Why would I tell him something that I don't even know about?
Well, why didn't you try? You want to talk about everybody else's crimes?
Oh, David was in a hurry. I was rushing David, and he gave 2 quick points about why Trump is not always that smart. So whatever. I don't. But I let him say it. I don't know. It's something. Whatever.
I'm not discussing Trump. I'm discussing what somebody has to say about what I say. Don't worry about what I got to say. But
why are you so quick to believe stuff that's against white people, and you're not quick to believe stuff that's against black people?
You hear me, Jane? They don't like for you to talk to me.
What?
They don't like for you to talk to me.
Some people do.
And
some
do you
people
think I
find
care?
you quite entertaining.
Well, I find them entertaining too.
Nice.
For those that don't want you to talk to me, you know why?
Why?
Because they want you to stay slow.
No, they claim that you're talking about nothing. And
that's what I'm saying. Well, what is he talking about? Talk about Tony. Talk about who else was he talking about?
Well, he wasn't. Well, he just made passing remarks about you and Tony, I suppose.
You think me and Tony care what he thinks?
Maybe, apparently, because you're calling and asking me about it and responding to it.
I want to respond to people that don't have a clue that works on the assembly line.
Why would you want to do that?
What'd you say?
Why would you want to respond to people who don't have a clue and something work on some assembly line?
I'm sending him a place where he can go find out, and he can do a report on it. All the things that he talk about is nothing about black people when he is a Caucasian man.
That's not true.
And living as a mascot.
No.
Yes.
You're a mascot.
I'm in his head, and I'll stay in it. And
you're a mascot as my favorite caller.
He don't like that either.
What?
You don't like that?
We're not talking about him. Well, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you.
If out of the park, he can go find for himself. That's why I like for people to look it up and find out stuff, not for me to tell them.
Well, thank you.
That means you let somebody use your brain if they got to tell you something and you can't look it up and see for yourself.
But I looked up the Emmett Till thing, for example, and I found out that you were not quite correct.
You know, and then since Bigg want to know about how the Black Panthers breakfast program, both inspired.
Isn't that ridiculous? The Black Panthers feeding the blacks.
That's why it happened. But tell him to look it up, and he can come back and give it to you, and you can do it yourself. I like for you to do it yourself and educate the slow and uninformed. That's why Trump loves y'all.
Okay.
Show you that. His poor uneducated people.
Were you a Black Panther?
No, I wasn't.
Did you support the Black Panthers?
Did I support the Black Panthers? I supported anything that didn't have to work with the government.
So you support Bond?
What?
So you support Bond?
But no, what do I support Bond?
Because Bond doesn't work with the government.
Well, then if they don't work with the government, evidently I support them too.
Nice.
But you're always talking about government funding and government this.
You don't have to say, but I'm just curious. Have you ever donated to Bond? You don't have to say. You have?
Yes, I have.
Nice.
Yes, I have. Why you need to know? But anyways, what I'm saying, James.
I don't need to know.
In those days, they weren't looking for support from the government. And they won't be looking for it now. And which is going to be the best thing when they go back to doing what they were doing without the government.
Right.
But the government's still going to need our tax dollars.
Yeah.
How
come the blacks are always going to, like, they want to go to the feds or they want to go to the UN? You know, when black people, when they feel that there's local injustice, they're like, we can't go to the local or state authorities. We need to go to the feds or we need to go to the United Nations. It's so ridiculous.
Why can everybody go to court and sue people except us?
You people go to the court and sue people. You people are the most suingest people in ever, to say it in the black vernacular.
How many times have your president sued people? Count them. Tell me how many.
Many times.
What do.
Righteous suing, perhaps.
Oh, you call it righteous.
I don't know.
So if you're a taxpayer, you should have the same amount of things that everybody else do that pay taxes.
I know, but you have way more than us.
You pay your tax dollar, but you got to be mistreated. Really, that don't even go together.
I don't know.
So why don't they just stop people from paying taxes, period, and then let's see where y'all go. I don't like people using my money.
No, but you didn't answer my question.
What?
Why are the black people who are complaining about racism and stuff like that, they're always going to the feds and the United Nations to cry racism?
Well, they go to the United Nations to cry racism. Just the same reason why they went for Netanyahu, because of what he was doing to the Palestinians. They didn't have many places to go because everybody on the other side thinks the same.
Maybe they should just calm down and act right.
Or maybe they should calm down.
Yeah.
No, maybe the people that doing wrong should do right, and they wouldn't have to.
But they're the ones doing wrong by going to the UN and the federal government and crying racism, slandering their fellow man, their white brothers. These black people are slandering their white brothers and white sisters.
And why do you think black people shouldn't have anything?
I don't think that. They can have whatever they earn.
Complain about BET. You complain about anybody that's doing anything that don't have to get nothing from it.
I haven't complained about BET in at least 10 years.
Why do they have to have?
Or 3 or 1.
See, people always talk about slavery. Before slavery, everybody was not born into working for somebody else. Some people were born with families that were working for themselves and didn't need the government. And they weren't no part of the government. So that's where y'all get it wrong.
What?
When you come to some of us.
You're bringing up slavery as a justification for going to the federal government?
Everybody didn't work on the plantation. You understand?
Yes. Some blacks, many other blacks work on the plantation.
You had to watch Bill Cosby to see what some black people do.
I didn't watch Bill Cosby for that.
A lot of you did, but that was, some people live like that.
I watched Bill Cosby because he was somewhat amusing. He was kind of funny. And that one of that sisters looked kind of cool, cute. And whatever. Not that I was ever into black people like that.
But you was watching Bill Cosby, and we was watching, what's this man name, with the wife name, with the squeaky voice?
Yeah, the racist white man show, right?
Whatever you want to call him.
Well, I don't think he's racist, but...
25 and all of those people that we were laughing at.
Whatever.
When they couldn't shoot straight, and y'all think y'all could do everything. That's what I'm trying to say.
You lost me. I got to go, Maze. We've been talking too long.
You have a nice one. But I'm in your head, and stay at the park, please. I'm not talking to you, but stay at the park. In San Francisco. I've been there, and it's a dirty place. I've seen it with my ass. So have a good one, Jane.
All right, Maze. Take care. Oh, man, she got me with the click. All right. Garrett in New Hampshire is on the line over here. Garrett, thanks for calling and holding, sir. You're live.
Good morning, James. How are you?
Doing fine. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. I had a point to make, but after I heard Maze mention that they don't like when I call in, I just want to say shout out to Maze and shout out to William 7. You are two of my favorite callers. I love when both of you call in.
You like William 7 or the third or both?
7. I like the third and 7, but I think 7 takes the cake in being one of my favorites. So Maze and William 7 are competing for my favorite callers.
Nice. Well, go ahead, sir.
So on to what I was actually calling in for. I know Jesse's been catching a lot of flack about integration's not working. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that and get your response.
About immigration not working, and my response to Jesse saying that immigration is not working.
Your response to what I'm about to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So I am from New Hampshire, and one of the jokes from the parts of New Hampshire that I grew up in is there are only 4 black people in New Hampshire. So how have you seen one and known one? But one is, I know it's just a little joke, but one of the things I've noticed is until I was online, I had a couple of black friends, and they acted a lot differently than the people that were online. I still have one of them to this day, still one of my best friends, and as it stands, they mix pretty well with all of us, and I know a lot of people have called Jesse and saying, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to separate? And he makes the joke like, oh, we ain't going to separate, and we have people on the show that are black, but they think they're white.
Right.
So I can understand why he's saying that.
Oh, so
and
it's
I can
not immigration. Oh, did you say immigration or integration?
Integration.
Oh, I heard immigration.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. All right. So integration is not working. Yeah. Yeah, because they did what was called forced integration, and the communist people seem to think they try to head that off, I remember. Forced integration is a dog whistle, they call it, in order to prevent you from calling it forced integration, because forced integration is what it is. And they're forcing people together, and when they celebrate this diversity, it's all forced and artificial and phony and mama and feel-good mess, in order to say, not to say, because I don't want to say crap. But, yeah, forced, it's forced. Like I told somebody yesterday, everybody's a token on both sides. The Republicans have their tokens, and then the Democrats have tons and tons and tons of tokens. By tokens, I mean, oh, you're a token black person, so you can look at me, we have blacks. So it's silliness, mess. It's forced.
Yeah.
It's phony. It's shallow.
Yeah. And I have I've known a couple people. Actually, my last boss that I had was a person that came from a city, Massachusetts City, Boston, and he had seen blacks a lot differently than I had. And what I had seen is they're just another person, just somebody that I hang out with. And he heard some of the things that I said and the way that I treated my friend, and he told me I was racist, and I was like, thinking to myself, how is that racist when I treat them the same way that they treat me? So he was confused. He was confused at me being able to joke with one of my black friends and him being able to joke back. And it was different for him because I didn't see it until I kind of pondered on it, that he was kind of afraid of them and had that white savior complex, I guess you could say. And so it was confusing to him how I would treat my black friend like that and have the same respect to be treated back with the same jokes, just obviously different complexion. But it's funny and it's wild. And I think that living in this part of New Hampshire where there aren't a lot of black people around, I find that the way that people treat people of different ethnicity in this area is a lot more equal based. Like they treat them like people instead of different. Whereas other places where like a little white boy grows up in a black neighborhood and then they're scared of blacks, so you gotta keep your head down and not talk to them and not look at them, so they're kind of scared of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of young black or young and old white people who grew up amongst blacks, and a lot of them were beat up as kids in the schools by black people.
Yeah.
Hit and miss,
I mean,
of course. Not all blacks were hitting, but all too many were. Just enough.
Yeah. Even as early as my mother's dad, my grandfather, I mean, he ended up going off serving in the military, and when he came back, he was extraordinarily hateful. I don't like to use the word racist, but
he came back from the military that way, or he was that way before that as well?
He came back from the military that way because he said the N-word shot at him.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Like his own, like friendly fire from his black, like military co-military teammate, not teammate, whatever.
No, it was from the place that he was stationed at.
Oh, okay. So he was stationed in like
So,
somewhere in like Africa or something?
Somewhere. I mean, I don't even know if they were, black people or just brown people.
True.
I don't know too much about it.
Yeah.
I've only met my grandfather a couple of times.
Okay.
He's dead now. God rest his soul.
Rest in
But
peace.
the one time that I did have a conversation with him, which was about 6 years ago, he and my uncle ended up getting really, really drunk, and my uncle was also stationed in parts of the Middle East and Northern Africa, and so they had seen terrible things, and so they ended up getting really, really drunk. And while they didn't talk about their time overseas that much, when they did talk about it this time, a lot of stuff spilled out, and I could see and understand why they felt the way that they felt about things. I mean, I don't think it's right, but I could understand why they felt the way that they did.
Yeah, definitely, man. Totally.
So,
I get you.
but
it's
but
kind of like cops.
Yeah.
Because cops have to deal with the criminal element, and when they deal with enough with the criminal element, they know what's really going on better than many of us who never have to deal or rarely have to deal with it. Yep.
Yeah, and if you don't have the right protection over your mind, you're going to let those thoughts get into your head, and they're going to intrude and
honestly, just
think a certain way.
saying bad words or whatever, or saying something that's harsh, is not necessarily make you wrong. You're not even necessarily wrong or even angry in that moment. You're just talking like a man, and people aren't used to hearing people talk like men anymore. You know?
No,
They're trying to make everybody
that.
like a woman. All diplomatic, like Hake. Not that I'm always diplomatic, but yeah.
I don't have a problem with diplomacy.
No, I know, but some people when you soften it so badly, people don't get the point. That's why people like JLP are so refreshing, because he just says how it really is, and when you say how it really is, such as the races don't mix, right? That means that's a general statement. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule, but that doesn't mean that white parents necessarily should be sending their kids to schools where their children are going to be mistreated.
Yeah, no, I think it's wonderful, and it is refreshing when you have so many different people beating around the bush.
Right.
When somebody just purely states it as it is, it is extraordinarily refreshing, and it's not JLP's fault for the way that people take it. He's specifically stating as it is.
Yep. Totally, man.
And I find that wonderful. But
So did you agree or disagree about integration not working?
It's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, as I was back onto the point, the black folks that are around New Hampshire, I've met some of their parents, and some of their parents have moved from one place to another, but their children grew up around me. I was about the same age as them, and I've had plenty of friends that are black or Mexican, Venezuelan,
in New Hampshire,
Asian, whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
Even though it's pretty white over here, but
and are you in your 20s or 30s or 40s or teens or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s?
I'm 27.
Okay, so that would make sense that you would be probably growing up with redistributed Venezuelans sometimes.
Yeah, no. It's like I said, it's a joke around here that, there's only like 4 black people in New Hampshire, but there is still a decent amount of people that are mixed in here and there.
Yeah.
But what I noticed is the parents are a lot different than the children.
Yes.
And the children who grew up around myself and my friends are much more well-tempered than their parents, because even when I went to go meet their parents, I could understand why some of the kids might act out. But as they were growing up, they've matured a lot better. And I'm not saying that to say that, you know, you got to live around a white person to mature well, but I'm just saying in these parts where there's not so much of a mixing pot, people adapt to their environment. And the environment, as liberal as New Hampshire might be, unfortunately,
Yeah.
there are still plenty of us that are around that are rather reasonable. And I've had no problem with any race while I've been growing up. And the people that come from cities, even, in fact, I mentioned the boss that I used to work for, he told me that I was acting racist for the things I said to my black friend. And I told him, he makes the same jokes to me. We're treating ourselves on equal ground.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it didn't get through his head that I was not supposed to be afraid to say those things.
It's like your boss
my friend.
Although your boss is from the city, he's like sheltered from how normal people are, including black normal people, because black normal people sound racist, quote unquote.
Yeah. And I know, like I was talking about the studio, Jesse was saying, well, somebody asked, well, don't you hire a mixed crowd? And he makes a joke, well, Derek thinks he's black.
He's white. Yeah, Derek thinks he's white.
Or Derek thinks he's white. Sorry, I said that wrong. But it's pretty much exactly that. I laughed at that because one of the jokes that we used to make with my buddy James while we were growing up is he'd be like, but I'm black. And we'd turn around and look at him and say, James, you're the whitest black man we know. I don't know what you be speaking.
Nice.
And it was a funny joke. And growing up as kids, it was hilarious. And now going online and seeing all the crazy things that people say to each other, it's foreign to me.
Do you ever say the N-word? You don't have to answer it. You say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I never call anybody that in front of their face or anything else like that. But in conversation, I'm not, it's not like a random flex. It's more of like you don't have to be afraid of a word kind of thing. It's not in my normal speak. But yeah, I've said it.
Yeah. Nice. So you were saying that your your friend's parent, your POC friend's parents, meaning the black friends' parents, and Venezuelan friends' parents and others, they are less well adjusted to white society or to normal society. They act up more than their friends.
Yeah. So I haven't spent time with them as of late. I mean, we're grown up now, so it's not like going to your buddy's house to go visit and their parents are over their roof. So I haven't spent a lot of time with them recently.
But your impression was they were more out of control than your friends?
Yeah.
In what way?
So they seemed a little bit more city-like, a little bit more ghetto-like.
I don't know. I don't really have a lot of I didn't have any black friends growing up, really. Because one of them, his mother got killed, hit by a train, and then we never saw him again. But my Mexican friends, their parents were better than them. My Latino friends, their parents were better than them in that, although they had thicker accents, or hardly even spoke English, they were more mature, of course, obviously, since they're adults and they're a different generation. But also they respected, from what I heard, respected police more and everything. Because my friends are all brainwashed into the liberal thing, anti-police type of a thing. and racism type of a thing, whereas the parents really embraced, even when they're illegal, embraced America and called themselves American and wanted to be that. They fell for the liberal thing too. They kind of seemed to follow their children into liberalism rather than them being liberal themselves. But I don't know. That's how my impression was the children are worse because they were brainwashed in the schools and by each other and all that into like just because they're a worse generation. You know, the millennials are worse than the Gen X or the boomers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
do you think that we could probably agree that it might have been a product of environment type situation?
Exactly.
Considering, yeah.
Yep.
So growing up in different areas, I think I've heard you say you grew up in SoCal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suburbs.
New Hampshire is,
Very Mexican
yeah.
and Asian suburbs. And a little
Yeah,
bit of
New
white.
Hampshire is
And then occasional black.
yeah, New Hampshire is a lot of old white folk.
Yeah.
At least in the places that I've been. I mean,
It's basically
right now
like liberal, like pro. I know that Bernie's Vermont, right? But it's not too different from
Yeah.
the liberalism that would elect Bernie, I would imagine.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. I meet a lot of angry liberals that live around here, and it is what it is. I have had a couple people say something along the lines of, "Isn't this crazy? What are your opinions on this?" And I just turn to them and say, "You wouldn't like to know what I'd like to say, so we'll just leave it at that."
That's funny. You may not even want to say that because then you're like giving them an indication.
At that point, I mean, that's why I left the last job that I was at, is I couldn't spend an entire day without them talking about Trump is ruining this and Trump is ruining that. And I'm just like, I got a job to do. Do you want me to do my job, or do you want to yell at me for my opinions? I made the mistake of, I made the mistake of having the conversation and answering questions. And then ever since then, it was absolute hell until I ended up leaving the company.
Wow. Yep. Man, what a shame.
Yeah.
How politics.
It is
ruins
what
it.
it is, but as I've thrown caution to the wind and not done my ways and just worked on myself, I've noticed a lot of coincidences working out. And to anybody that's on the fence about whether or not to do the silent prayer or to learn that your ways are not the best ways, things have gotten hard. Things are not the way that I want them to be.
Yeah.
But the peace that comes with it is amazing, and I know that I will be taken care of.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your call, Garrett. That's cool.
Excellent. Can I say one quick thing before I get off?
Yes, sir.
To you and all the other producers, Punchy TV was one of the best things that have come out of Bond and anything associated with it. It is one of the best podcasts on this place of heaven. And keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
Thanks for the encouragement,
guys.
sir. Appreciate that.
Excellent. Thank you, James.
All right. Take care. Garrett in New Hampshire. Wowee. So let me peruse a little bit of news and we'll get to Super Chats and get back to the calls. Hang tight, callers, if you can. If you got to disconnect, I understand, and then call back if you have to, right? Whatever you want to do. I do intend to get to you guys completely. We got plenty of Super Chats to read. Let me prioritize these coffees to make sure I get to all of them. Renecio bought 3 coffees. Renecio states, Mr. Hake, this coffee is from the future or the past? ? Is it time linear or circular? The essence of life is a sphere, claims Renecio. Renecio. A sphere is a ball, as you may know. That's the only symbol, the sphere, that remains a sphere or a circle or whatever in any perspective. You see it from over here, it's still a ball. You see it over here, it's still a circle, ball, sphere. Cool. Also, temperature, he says, only exists within a time segment. Wow. So without time, there is no temperature. If what Renecio is, if what he's saying is true, which sounds like it's probably true, we have to re-up on Carl Jung, which is actually Young, and that's not an Asian. I knew an Asian called Ms. Jung. She was Asian. Teacher, doxed. Enjoy your cold coffee. Yes, I do prefer my coffee cold. But sometimes I'll drink it hot, I guess. I don't know. It's not my preference. Thank you, Renecio. That's because I'm from SoCal. Thank you, sir. And there was other... Oh, Lord. This trackpad mess. I should blame my... whatever. Eric, 10 coffees. Messy conversation you had with David in Florida. Scoring with women. Good with the ladies. Quote, unquote. We need to stop sign, this defining masculinity through sexual prowess. A strong man does not sleep around. He can't lead by God's will. It's impossible. He can't lead by God's will. It's impossible. When sleeping around and stuff like that. Thy will, not my will, said Jesus, who did not sleep around. They try to speculate and make up stuff. Sick. Those people. A weak man is, quote unquote, good with the ladies. And a weaker man is not any good with the ladies, right? Or no? I don't know. But anyway, a weak man is good with the ladies, quote unquote, because he's of the devil and chasing thrills. He's evil. He's using the imagination to justify selfish behavior. There's nothing strong about picking up women. You mean he's an effective liar? He's great at deceiving women? So is the devil, purple devil-looking thing with bug eyes emoji. Is it really scoring, quote unquote, if you're sleeping with a woman you don't value as a wife? What scoreboard? What game? Who's winning? Asterisk, the ego is confirming its conception of self through sexual prowess, says Eric. A better metric of masculinity, of a strong man, would be to say he's indifferent. He's unbothered. Indeed. I like that, Eric. He's efficient at avoiding evil. He certainly doesn't charm the snake and lay down with it. Devil emoji, purple devil emoji, cute looking thing. Flute emoji, snake emoji. You know how the Indians, snake charmers, play the flute? And the snake is like charmed and it won't strike him because it's a hooded cobra snake. And bed emoji. Thank you, Kevin. Eric. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And we were also granting, though, Eric, cut us a little bit of slack, David and me, because we said it's not good to have sex out of wedlock. It's wrong. We disclaim it and disavow it. But like the point was about men who just don't know how to deal with women because they're weak too, who can't get along with women and charm them or whatever, because some of that indifference is what attracts them, even if it's a false indifference. Anyway, unmoved, unbothered. But anyway, I'm with you, Eric. I'm not going to argue with you. You're right. You're right. And it was a touch messy. And also David. But he was judging Mike Pence, who's like a kiss up to his wife. And he was judging some other person who's also like a weak person, I think. Anyway, Eric, with 5 more coffees, Manhood Hour, that call Jesse had with Aiden I think it's, well, I'm not going to dox the spelling. You can go look up the spelling, but it's not spelled that way, I don't think. But anyway, that call Jesse had with Aiden this morning was a perfect example of how blind men are believing sexual prowess is a masculine endeavor. Yeah, I know. Anyway, dating a dancer. What the? He says, eye roll emoji. Why not put a, whoa, explicit reference. Why not put a Second Amendment in your mouth? We'll call it. Dancing gal, explosion, mind blown. I used to not like this emoji, the mind blown emoji, but eventually I got, I guess, desensitized to it. I didn't like this. Let me show this to you. I'm gonna blow this thing up. Isn't that gross? Because it looks like the top of his head has gotten, like, exploded off. It's terrible. You see that? Let me see if I'm able to zoom in. Isn't that gross? It's, like, overly... Well, this particular one looks cuter on this computer. On other computers, like the Apple computers or whatever, it looks too explicit. But now I'm, like I said, desensitized. What a mess, says Eric. Notice how everything in his life was a mess, but the ego is still telling him he's got some sense. Yeah, man, that guy totally had no sense. But he had a little bit of sense because he recognized what Jesse was saying was true. And, yeah, it was all ego, no sense. The worldly conception of masculinity is becoming more degenerate, dating a dancer, good with the ladies, scoring with women. And I didn't mean scoring like that. But I guess that's what scoring always means, huh? Yeah, but not necessarily how I meant it. Anyway, he needs to lock himself in a dark room for a month in silent prayer. Box emoji. Shh. Covering your mouth with one finger to indicate the shh, quiet emoji. Praying hands emoji. Rebuilding the family, comma, by rebuilding the man. No comma, actually, in that line. Although there is a comma out there that was an error on the part of some artsy person. But yes, thank you, Eric. Accurate. Always accurate, sir. Hey, JC from Little Rock, Arkansas. No worries, I'm not back, he says. Just wanted to wish Maze and Tony a happy birthday. Huh. Though while I'm here, I happened to hear you attacking Popcorn yesterday. I tune in every few months to see if you've been canceled because they called you out for wanting segregation while you yourself benefit from integration, claims he. Righteous integration. Listen to Steven, Maze, Tony, Freddie, John, myself, or me. We just don't want you, James, to be ignorant and remain ignorant. Okay, Mom. Thank you, Mom. You're not my mom. But let it be Mark or the eternal teenager from Ocala, and those are the only ones outside of your master Jesse that you tend to listen to, claims he. The only ones you let put in your place. Also, Zenny calls around Halloween time. What a coincidence. It's spelled coinkadink. Finally, if saying the N-words means talking like a man, then why are you so afraid to say it? Rest in peace, D'Angelo. I sent a Cash App. Oh, somebody did send me a Cash App, too. Speaking of Cash App. Popcorn is right. You and JLP are cretins, he says. Oh. Hey, thanks, man. I didn't see that. And Icey also says, love the callers and your show. Thank you. Thank you, Icey. I-C. I won't spell it all the way because I don't want to dox. Nice. It doesn't necessarily mean talking like a man, but I wasn't even talking about saying the N-word specifically, because the N-word has nothing to do, like you could be a man and say it in a manly way, or you could be a man and not say it and be manly in not saying it, and you're refraining from saying it. So that's irrelevant. What I was talking about with talking like a man is men say stuff that's derogatory and general statements. You make generalizations. Men make generalizations. Women are like, well, actually, You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And men communicate simply. Women communicate complicatedly and with many words. And it's not really a man-woman thing. It's a wise man and foolish man thing. Man being men or women. Shout out. Oof. So am I foolish or wise? What a mess. Thank you, JC and Icey. Eric, 5 more coffees. Systemic racism. How can a country of white people that grew up watching The Cosby Show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Great intro song. I long for those days for Will Smith. Oh, why were the old days better? And Family Matters. Be racist. Exactly. All their favorite sports team are full of black players. Jordan posters, as in Michael Jordan, on their walls, and his shoes on their feet. The most adored musicians are black or Jewish. Or in some cases, like a bunch of mix of whites. Beloved actors are black. The president was black. That one's not a good example. But they still claim, but it is, I suppose, but they still claim America's systemically racist? Makes no sense. So dumb. So blind. Says Eric. Pardon me for stepping on your coffee there. I shouldn't have stepped all over your point about the president being black. Thank you, Eric, with your 5 coffees. Yeah. Family Matters was fun. I didn't really like Urkel, but he was amusing. I liked the Fat Dad. It was a fun show. The Cosby Show was kind of fun. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was cool. Although I wasn't really like a fan of that one guy who dances and he's nerdy and preppy. He married a white gal, by the way. Seems like a okay guy, actually. Those statements are not meant to be put together. One doesn't lead to the other, or whatever. But anyway, but although that was a little bit dirty, it was like a little inappropriate, or a lot inappropriate. And now they've gone full-blown off the deep end. Yeah, Eric, what a mess. And then, of course, there's guys who love black people, like Donald Trump, Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. We are a real American. I am a real American. Roadblock, Stalker. Those are black guys on G.I. Joe. Who else? That's all I can think of. Imagine anyway, here, let me show you Stalker G.I. Joe real quick. Stalker G.I. Joe. This guy. He went to Vietnam with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, I think. Cool. Snake Eyes being white, a white ninja who went mute and got his face messed up multiple times. And Storm Shadow being the Japanese ninja who was a bad guy and then became good again. Nice. Stalker. He was mean. If you mess with him, he'll put a mean hurt on you. But if you mess with Storm Shadow, he'll break your mama's heart. Comic books reference. My brother kind of got me into G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe! So we're past the top of the hour. I do have many more super chats to read. All right, I do see them. You are appreciated. Bing. But Beachhead, Deep Six, are M. Medrano's favorite. Nice, right on. Mr. T, oh yeah, he was on G.I. Joe too. That's right, Sergeant Slaughter. They stopped saying a real American hero. They started calling him like international hero or something ridiculous. Yeah. Terrible. The good old 80s when the good guys would win. Good guys always win. in the 80s. I do have more super chats even from Streamlabs to get to. So let me just call these coffees. Coffees. Right? That might be the way to do it. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll just go do. Coffees. G.I. Joe. And Cash App. Coffee. Cash App. Coffee. I think that does it. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for the correction, Eric. I appreciate that. Eric on S, right? I think that's what it was. No. Renecio. I guess. Oh, maybe this one was Renecio. Yeah. Okay. Pardon me, I just like to keep up science on the science. I like to keep things kind of straight. I like to have my notes all correct. S and men, JC. Thank you, JC. And a Cash App. Icey. And yeah, very nice. Yeah, do the silent prayer. Oh yeah, systemic racism. Yeah, very nice. Eric, thank you kindly. Thank you once again. Okay. And Cesar Caesar, I will get to you, sir. You look like you're up next after the YouTube supers being back. That's pretty cool. And I did see this one from Yamum. Let me prep that. But I would like to get to Alan. Been on hold, I believe, out of Michigan here. Alan, thank you for calling and holding, sir. You're live.
Oh, my pleasure. I never mind holding.
Cool.
So don't worry. In fact, I enjoy the super chats.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, when I call in, and all your other callers, that's kind of stream of consciousness. Whereas a super chat, you have to actually think about something and then write it down.
Right.
And you get rid of the ums and ahs and things like that. And that's why I appreciate it. I think it's good variety to the show, too.
Yep.
So just a shout out there. I'm not trying to stroke you.
Right.
But, I gotta include, I was out mowing the grass. I thought, I'm just going to sit and listen to the program. And I'm having a Blacker Than Black. There's a shout out for the merch.
Nice.
And, but I was hearing Maze and everything. I got to call in on this. Listen, I appreciated hearing Big Bump. That was a real nice program you had with him. He has a very good speaking voice, very calm and very reassuring. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Had you heard him before?
Oh, certainly. In fact, I one time said, "Wait, when are you going to have Big Bump back?"
Nice.
So, yeah.
Shout out to Big Bump.
Maze, you had touched on the welfare thing yesterday and with Maze a little bit. And, me, the old Bible thumper. Not really. There is a welfare safety net in the Bible, and it's called Gleaning. You're probably familiar with it.
Yeah.
Where when a farmer, even today, a farmer goes over the field once, and even the corners are going to not be harvested because, the farm equipment and stuff. And even back in the ancient times when they had the oxen pull the plows and they would go back and forth, that's where we get the word furlong from. And actually there's some Irish people that are named Furlong.
Uh-huh.
But in any case, the idea is there's always something to be left for the poor to gather, not to be given to them.
Right.
Freebies, no welfare WIC cards or anything. No, they go out there and they actually harvest it themselves. In fact, one of the ancestors of Jesus Christ, Ruth and Boaz, Ruth was gleaning in his field.
Yeah.
And that's how they met and eventually got married. So, that's the safety net, you might say, whereas they're provided food, nobody goes hungry, and yet it's not something where you just sit back and have everybody bring it to you. Okay, that's that's right, and we agree on that. I was going to touch. I enjoyed Garrett from New Hampshire, by the way. That was good. Yesterday, Rob from NorCal, and he apparently is a flat earther.
Yes,
and I've heard, he calls in occasionally, and I've looked up some of the flat earth stuff, and I'm still a ball-tard, as I've said time and again.
Yeah.
But there's something, I don't know, it's ever been brought up on your program, but many decades ago, my late girlfriend had introduced me to the hollow earth theory. Have you ever heard about this?
A little bit, but I've never looked into it or had it explained to me, really.
Well, I read a book on it. It was not a very good book. It was mostly filler. It's like the 3-page thesis has been turned into a 150-page book. And but he did, of course, there's the incident of Admiral Byrd supposedly going over the South Pole and going into this land and everything. And I don't know. I really have serious doubts. When I look at things, is this all a psyop? Are they throwing out stuff for us to believe to keep us distracted from what's really going on? So that's all I really had to say. And let's see. No, I have my notes here. I guess that pretty much covered it. So just thought I'd bring up those subjects to think about. And thanks for taking my call.
Right on, man. So do you think that the hollow earth, I didn't really catch what you said about the hollow earth. I was distracted.
Well, the theory
I heard that you read the book that was like 100 pages. It should have been only 3, but.
right. It's like the one-line joke that's turned into a half-hour TV program.
Yeah. I draw stuff out way too long, too, sometimes. It's terrible. I understand.
Oh well, we're only human.
Yeah.
I'd like to get one of those.
One of my beach ball earths.
The beach ball earth, yeah. I've got a earth on a stand. A real nice one. I got.
Me too. I got myself one.
Yeah, and they're real nice. I look at it every so often. Of course, the borders keep changing. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's why I used to not. That was my justification in like 4th grade. For not paying attention when they were teaching geography. I'm like, it could just change. Like, what the heck? Or what if we went to Mars or something? So I didn't bother learning anything. Terrible.
Well, what the just to finish off, the theory or the hypothesis, let's call it that, is that the Earth is hollow and that the entrances there's an entrance at the North Pole and the South Pole, and inside there, it's kind of like a Dyson sphere. I don't know if you know what that is. Well, there's a sun or in the middle, like an artificial sun or whatever, and it provides light to all the geography or on the inside. Pretty fantastic. Just thought I'd throw it out there, just something to think about. Maybe the flat earthers have talked about that. The only thing I'll finish on is I'm doing a study on this idea of heaven and earth, and I'm going to hold that in abeyance because I don't want to be taking up time on frivolous matters. I mean, let's face it, you got a lot of callers, and, like I always say, I want to hear what the other people have to say.
Yeah. And by fantastic, in reference to the hollow earth theory, you mean fantastic? Like sort of fantasy.
Right.
Fantastical.
Right. Oh, yes. There you go. There you go. That's basically the whole thing. And there's supposed to be a race of superior people that live in there in harmony and all that, and maybe the home of the angels, which actually the Hebrew word just means messengers. They're not, this idea of wings and all are really not. Remember what Paul said, we might be entertaining angels unawares.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, Leah, I could go on, but like I say, I pretty much finished that subject just to throw the stuff out there for people to think about and ponder.
Nice. Well, thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you're very welcome, and thanks for letting me call.
All right, Ellen. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Wow. Before I get to your super chats, I plan to anyway. Let me get to Albert in Chicago, Illinois. Albert, Yesgunner, I believe. How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing, James?
Doing well.
All right.
How about
Just wanted
you?
to touch base on. I'm doing great. This is Yesgunner, by the way.
Yeah, I remember you. Are you? Have you called into my show before?
I called in before, but so maybe a year or so.
Yeah, I remember hearing you on Anchor Babe a couple times. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah,
or a few times, actually. I think
you
might have called him sort of recently, actually, too.
No. Well, more than... Yeah, I did call recently. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, more than 2 weeks ago or so.
Good to hear from you, sir.
Just want to see your... want to pose the same question I posed to him differently. Obviously, you know what's going on in Chicago. It's been like a forced apprehension of undocumented people or people that are presumed to be undocumented. They've been taken into like unmarked vehicles, obviously then taken to a suburb outside of Chicago and processed for deportation. A lot of it has been, Mexicans, some Venezuelans and whatnot. I have people that are close to me that I adore, hold dear to my heart, that want to go out to protest. I don't find it favorable to do that because I'm like, I stay away from it. I don't want to like be involved in it, even though I'm Mexican myself. They still say, hey, well, you gotta, these are your people. And I just want to see your advice or what are your thoughts on that? Like, obviously I'm not going to go to these protests. I don't want to be a part of something that I don't, agree to on both sides.
Yeah, I'm with your inkling to stay out of it. And don't argue with your friends who want to go out there or anything. You don't give them unsolicited advice, definitely. If they ask you and you tell them and then they want to argue with you, don't argue with them. The usual advice about don't fight with people and stay away from trouble because that's trouble. A lot of times the protesters, they say, oh, it's mostly peaceful. It's possible to get out there and get away with everything because you're just peacefully doing your First Amendment, I guess. But I would stay clear of it, especially since you don't agree with either side. It sounds like you don't agree with the rounding up the way that they're doing it. And you don't agree with the people protesting because some of the protesters are not for America. And I think of you as being pro-America. So, yeah, I agree with you. Stay out. Stay clear. And wish your friends well and wish the ICE people well.
Yeah, that's the part about it where I just like, they're comparing this to a time in history, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're comparing it to
I'm just like,
I'm gonna say it. They're comparing it to the Nazi stuff, rounding up the Jews.
Yes. Yeah, and to me, that's like, okay, what are we doing here? I'm more like, really, it's different, but I mean, way different. And and my thing about it was that, when this happened during Obama, it was worse.
Obama was deporting a bunch. Was he rounding up a bunch and it just wasn't reported?
Because people have social media and phones readily available.
Yeah, so it's more.
And
And Trump called a lot of attention to the fact that he's going to do these mass deportations. So everybody's overreacting to Trump. People were protesting Obama's deportations a lot on the radical
but it
side.
wasn't but it wasn't prevalent.
Yeah,
it was like, okay,
that's for sure.
When I was here in Chicago back in those days, like, yeah, it was heard of, but even then, like, when I didn't have a political affiliation, I'm like, why am I gonna go do that? And I hear like people are throwing rocks. And it's like, is that what I'm going to go do?
Yeah.
And then show them how much they hate us and show that part of me. And my thing with that is just, it's ridiculous to go protest. But right now it's just getting to a point where everywhere they're at, they'll have people with whistles. They're being doxxed. Their locations. It's gotten worse. But, you know, I remain optimistic in this. I want to see something good come out of it. Whether that's ending the way they're doing it or finding a way to do it, because it's you know, it's not right, man. You know, like, to me it's not right, but that's just my opinion. And I know some people just have a different. Oh well, let's round them all up and, you know, ship them out. Like, I get it. You know, I get it.
Which
But
thing are you?
It's not the way to be done.
Which thing are you saying is not right?
Rounding up the illegals the way they are. I get it. I can't go to a country and demand things. You know, I can't go to a country and demand rights or the right to work there. I'm saying, okay, we're Mexican. Let's do a revolution in Mexico. Let's do something different. You know, why don't you guys demand a better life? But, you know, there is people that are funding these protests that don't want illegals to go out because they're obviously profiting off their labor.
Yeah.
You know, why would they want to pay an American, you know, a living wage when they could pay an illegal migrant little to nothing? You know, that's not uncommon to hear. Well, here we are. You know, there's going to be a No Kings protest. I'm not sure when. I think this weekend, and I guess these standoffs that are happening between residents of Chicago and ICE, just getting worse. I do believe, Christy, when she says that there's hits on them by cartels, just the way that ICE has been getting treated.
Oh, so the cartels are wanting to do hits on ICE?
Yeah, that was all over the news, as she was saying, and some local
Christy Christy Noam. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not. That's like declaring. Trump is already kind of declaring war on the cartels, and if they escalate it by killing an ICE agent, they're bringing fiery wrath upon themselves. That's crazy. That would be justification for invading Mexico or wherever these cartels are. That's crazy.
I mean, who is to say, you know, how do we know if there's any truth to that, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
But you do see it. You do have people like that are activists that are really like harassing and monitoring people, or ICE agents that are going around the city. Like, I feel for the hardworking people, but it's not my call to make and like want to change or see a change, you know, because I'm not the president, you know, I'm not in the administration. I'm just a local citizen. I don't have the answers to see how we're going to do this situation. But, you know, I'm all for deporting the criminals, but I'm not for deporting the hardworking man, which has really been like a big issue here in Chicago, and it's pretty bad. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Why aren't you for deporting the hardworking illegals?
Because they want an opportunity at this country, right?
Yes.
They want to do something good. But here we are, we're letting, you know, Pajits come in from India, you know, and stay here and you know, use our resources in the sense like taking tech jobs.
And that's
tech jobs rather hire somebody.
Yeah, that's not right either.
I'm trying to rephrase this. Mm-hmm. Why am I against the deportation of the hardworking man?
Yeah.
I'm Mexican myself, man.
I knew it. and you know them. It's kind of like knowing a gay, and it's almost like knowing a gay and going soft on the gays, you know. This is why.
Oh, man,
This is
that's
why we
different.
don't
That's
trust you
different.
people. This is why this diversity stuff doesn't work because you're gonna have like a little bit more of a soft spot. And I know them too. I'm I'm not as close with the illegals anymore because I'm just not in San Gabriel Valley anymore, and I don't keep in touch with my friends like that. But right is still right, right? Meaning right being
Explain
it's right
that,
to
explain
deport.
that.
Explaining that in that they're here illegally, whether it's an overstayed visa or they crossed illegally or whatever, and is it right that they're here illegally, or is it right that they be deported?
It's right that they're here working hard under the table, breaking no law.
Breaking no law other than immigration law.
Yeah, the law of the land, huh?
Yeah.
It's right where they say, hey, I've known people close to me that say, I have nothing in Mexico.
Yeah.
I have nothing. This country is all I knew. I have a friend. I'm going to put so much of his business out there. 33 years old, 34. He came here when he was 5. Married a citizen, and he, whatever, they separated. She kind of took him to court and said, I'm not going to give him papers. And he's worried for his life. But he grew up here.
Yeah.
He loves this country. He knows that if he goes to Mexico, it's deported. He has nothing over there.
Right. Nothing set up for himself other than whatever
Yeah.
opportunities will be there. Yeah.
Do I have sympathy? Yeah, maybe I have sympathy for those around me. Now, the rest of the people that are out there, I'm just like, man, oh, well, what a shame, but it's not something I can change. It's just, it sucks, because, that's all I hear around me.
Most of your illegal friends and their children and their children who are Americans, because many of them become Americans when they're born here, right?
Yeah.
Would they support Trump or would they support Kamala?
I'll say this: in my house, we're patriots. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
I have a flag. I have my MAGA hat. I have a White Lives Matter shirt. I'm a patriot. I believe in something that's. I believe in something that's given me a good job, a good place to live, a good country. I like to be able to know that I'll be able to travel outside this country and come back. I like what the country has stand for. I've yet to visit so many historic places in this country, but I love this country.
Yeah.
But I'm also proud to have that Mexican heritage.
Right.
It's believe it or not, Latinos, Mexicans are conservative by heritage, conservative by religion, I guess, by Catholicism, even though I'm not Catholic, but we know what's right and wrong. I'm not going to say, Mexico sends its best people, but, people that want to be here and work here, don't want to go back to Mexico. It's just the way it's being done. It sucks, because has everybody around me scared. And I'm just like, oh, this is what you wanted. I'm waiting to hear that. I haven't heard that yet, but I'm waiting to hear that. And it's like,
you're waiting to hear your friends and family say, this is what you wanted. You voted for Trump. You voted for this mess that's happening to our community.
Care less. I could care less how they're going to feel about that, but it's more like, man, I'm waiting for them to just point the finger any moment.
But if they're so conservative by nature, why do most of them, correct me if I'm wrong, vote so liberal? They're like for Obama, not for Trump. They think Trump is racist. Don't you notice that?
I want to say maybe it's the Gen Z, the millennials here, the first generation Mexicans over here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just more like, well, we're going to give you guys papers if you guys vote for us. That's all they hear. We're going to give you guys amnesty. We're going to give you guys resources, job permit. One thing that they did do here in Chicago was give driver's license to undocumented residents.
Yeah, they did that in L.A. too.
You know, and then there was like a little lettering on the license that showed that they were immigrants. And they felt discriminated, saying, hey, we're not getting hired for driving, jobs because it's lettering in our license. So then they worked to get that removed. And now you couldn't tell who's undocumented or not from looking at their ID.
Yeah. That's funny, man. Well, it's funny that you're using the term undocumented when it's on their ID. It's documented.
Illegal alien, undocumented, illegal immigrant. I don't know, man.
Because my friend said, I'm here illegally. That's how I knew he was illegal. Like, I didn't know he was illegal for years, 10 years. He was like a star runner and everything. And then he's like, I'm here illegally. And then he told me something about racism. I'm like, racism is made up. It's just used to make white people look bad or try to smear white people for telling the truth or whatever. And then that stuck with him. And then he realized, you know what, you're right. And I don't know if he's illegal anymore or not, whatever. But he's like, that really changed things for him. And he really turned around. And he told me that years later. I forgot I told him that. And so there's good and bad illegals, of course. I'm with you. But right is still right, man.
Yeah.
And then most of these people are they can be validated by the Democrats, bribed by the Democrats for continuing to do wrong. Because as you know, if you don't have borders and a decently strict immigration law, exceptions to the rule, I'm for exceptions to the rule, but if we're speaking like men, a strong immigration law where we're like, all the illegals, they got to go home, then you don't have a country. And a lot of times illegals and people who are facing crimes and stuff like that, they get so in their heads and scared that they'll run out onto the 210 freeway down here in LA area, suburbs, and get themselves run over, or they'll kill somebody or get shot by cops or shoot cops. And that's so crazy. It's not necessarily what you think it's going to be. If you go down to Mexico where there's nothing for you, not you personally, but
of course,
these people. I had a friend, Ignacio, who called in, who was deported because, I don't know, he was driving without a license or something. And he said it was tough, but he reunited with his father, and it was actually for the better. And he was working and had his own business going because he was living with his mother and sister up here. Talk about separating families, right? Immigration separates families. So anyway, my point is, like, it's going to be fine.
Okay, I got you this. All right, that's a jolly way to put it.
Yeah.
We deport everybody.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
The white race isn't improving, brother.
I know
you
that.
You guys are not having kids.
I know.
God forbid, you're not having a kid. You're not married.
Right.
You know, the white race is going to go down. Who's going to fill in the positions? At least over half of the cooks here in Chicago, downtown, all Mexican. And they're kick-ass in the kitchen.
Right.
The best cooks. You get rid of these people, well, who's going to fill in those job positions?
We're going to have bland food.
Dorky business people.
We're going to have
dorky white people working these business positions, man.
We'll figure it out. Well, the point is, like, it's not going to happen like what you and I are talking about. It just won't, because there's people who are quote-unquote American here now. They were born here, and we haven't gotten rid of the anchor. Like you said, that young man that you know was brought in at 5 years old, married an American woman, and the American woman is going to, like, divorce him or whatever and say, oh, I'm not going to fix your papers because she's a malicious woman, going to use the laws against him because she's a nasty. We've allowed stuff to go on so wrong for so long that now it's painful to fix it, whereas we should have nipped it in the bud, but we didn't. And that's what the communists want to do, is make it so that it's so tough and complicated to make things right again. It's like when you give blacks welfare and then you pull it away from them. It's like, what the heck? What are we going to do now? We've been relying on this.
Yeah.
Not just blacks.
Of course, they don't want to, pick up themselves from their boots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, Hake. It's been great talking to you. I mean, you put it lightly. Yeah, it was good to hear your thoughts on it, your 2 cents.
So were you for what happened before World War II or right around World War II? Out of curiosity.
What about it?
What the Germans allegedly did, rounding up people. Was that right? What they did?
What about?
Or do you know?
I don't think it was right, but to compare what's going on now to what's going on then, I mean, hey.
Also, man,
you know?
there's a lot of stuff to fix. Like you brought up the fact that going back to reality with the whites not making babies and stuff. If we got rid of this subsidized education and subsidized birth control and stuff like that, people would start making babies again, maybe. If we started, did something about this pornography stuff. I don't know what you can do, but I don't know.
No, man. I don't know. I don't know if you saw. There's going to be SEX ChatGPT. Coming soon.
Yeah. It's actually not going to get better. But I think that, people, the younger generations, you may have indicated this, are turning back to Christianity a little bit. And it's not perfect the way they're doing it. But things might correct themselves a touch. Or else we'll just continue and America's gone, basically. It's the Roman Empire. It's gone.
No, of course. Every country has fallen, and I don't know, maybe we're seeing the downfall of it, but no, I do have hope, in the Groypers. I mean,
right? Yeah, I'm a fan of them. I'm a fan of them, except that they're hateful. But who's not hateful? Who's not hateful? I mean, it's not even
who's not wicked, right?
Yeah. Anyway,
it's been great talking to you, man.
You as well. Take care.
All right. Take care, Hake. Bye-bye.
Yesgunner. Shout out. It's over. All right. So I would be remiss were I not to read some of these super chats here. I don't know if I'll be able to just... this is so tricky. There's the... Yeah, Mom. Hey, I expect you to play I Want to Be Ninja for this dono. Be a man. Well, let me look into it first, sir. I want to be a ninja. Cesar Caesar. Sup? Hey, congratulations getting monetized, bud. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. It's been more than 5 years. My last super chat was in 2020. Crazy. Keep your head up, favorite caller David in Texas. Nice. It's always nice to hear from favorite caller David in Ocala, Florida. It was nice to hear Maze sound cheerful today. She usually talks at you, but today she was talking to you. See everybody later, says Cesar or Caesar. Very nice. Thank you, sir. I wonder if I were to go mosey on over to thehakereport.com, and then I were to go click on this thingamajigger, and if I were to go to, let's see, if I were to go to the live page, I guess I didn't need to click on that then. And I'm streaming here. Can I do this? Is this okay? Is this bad? Is there anything bad about this to show you guys? Because then I can see and show what you guys are saying. Let's see if this helps. Don't know. Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me scroll. Oh, yes, it is. For some reason, I can't see that one here. Let me zoom out a touch. This is from... Lord. In the world, I'm such a boomer. This is terrible. Here. Well, it says, Hake, you have Super Chat enabled. Congratulations. I can barely see who says that. Let me read it over here. Cuckoo G-Ow. Thank you. Pardon me for covering up your name. What if I just do that? Does that fix it? I don't know. Walkin' Roscoe says, first Super Chat on Jim Hake's show. Love when Ms. Maze, that's how I spelled it too, M-A-I-S-E or something like that. But it's actually M-A-Z-E. Calls in. I wonder if there's any pop-out thing so that I could actually see this better. I'm trying to show you guys, isn't it kind of funner when you can read along? Anyway, go back out here. Imagine the 2 hours with Jim and Maze talking, it would be giving her blessed husband a break for that time. Says Walking Roscoe. Pretty cool. Cloud Bops. Nice. Isn't that nice? Unfortunately, I'm just... Pardon me if I accidentally time you out or ban you with my boomer thumbs. Cloud Bob says, amazing. Nice, with hearts there. Everblazer with a 3. Threeverblazer. Shout out to Alpha Back Hake. Thank you, sir. Nice. Hake with the good hair, says Harmony Harms with a Z. Nice. Shout out to my pal, Cloud Bops. Thanks, Jim Hake. Keep on keeping on, says Walking Roscoe. Gregatron, look at you. Congratulations. You got ads and monetization. Finally, you earned it. Thank you, man. Time to go viral, Hake. Bless up, I think he says. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Super chat hype train, says Harmony Harms. Walking Roscoe, shout out to our brother Mark with S. Well, Stafford. I mean, his name is right there. I guess I could dox him. Yeah, shout out to you. And Harmony Harms with another one says, look at this. I'm trying to like pinch and zoom, right? I'm trying to pinch and zoom. But it's like I gotta wipe my hands first or something. And maybe I gotta wipe this trackpad. Look, how is that thing, a whole thing turned blue? And then, okay, so we're over here. She says, shout out to the lady on the train complaining about the dog. Says Harmony Harms. Nice. Sweet. And hopefully this has gathered all of your... Oh, there we are. There we can see Cuckoo Jiao. Koojeow. I don't get this. I don't get what's going on here. I can't scroll back down. What in the world? Hey, but I zoomed in so far that I got rid of the live chat thing. That's cool. That might be the way to do it. If I go... There must be a way. Let's see. Whatever. Anyway, nice. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to the lady on the train who didn't like the dog. Sweet. It's not a pretty picture. Yeah, I like that gal. Shout out to Coffee Talk with Sandra, Ghost Pepper. Yeah, Mom, I'll have to look up I Want to Be Ninja. I Want to Be Ninja. Neenja? It's some movie or something? Jennifer Murphy, 2021? I don't know. Interesting. I'll have to check into that. Yeah, Mom. Thank you for the request. I expect you to play I Want to Be Ninja for this dono. Huh. Well, cool. Okay, so what's up to the Rumble crew? Nice to see you guys. Thank you for participating. Etch, I'll call you. Jules, Homesteader, Buddy 1205, Old Saucy. You guys, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Amazing, says Cloud. Oh, no, I already read that one. Okay. Pretty cool stuff over here. Let me double check on the Rumble. The Buy Me a Coffee. Sweet. Very sweet. Okay. Let me get to Rob in NorCal. Rob in NorCal is on the line over here. He's on hold. Rob,
Yes.
NorCal, not North Carolina, but Northern California, right?
Correct.
Hey, good
correct.
to hear from you.
Wine country.
Oh,
yes.
Dang.
Yes, nice. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly. I was. What's what's that caller's name? Alan, I think.
Alan in Michigan.
Yeah, I like Alan. He's a good caller. He's like he's right there. He's right on the right path. But yeah, the Hollow Earth thing. That's like it's like a red herring, or it's like a poisoning the well kind of fallacy.
Did the feds plant? Did the feds plant Hollow Earth to to lead you guys, the flat earthers, astray?
No, to lead the globe heads astray.
Oh.
But, yeah, you probably think the Earth's hollow too. You know, just to make us look dumb. And it's like, no, we don't. We don't think there's a South Pole at all. So,
right.
You know, so it's one of those things that that we also have to contend with. Besides straight up debating whether it's the globe or flat, then they also throw in all this other ridiculous stuff to do. Oh yeah, and you probably think this, and you probably think that, you know. But no, but I really like Alan as a caller for sure.
Nice.
I did send you a couple of images because I know that you're video averse.
It's not. I'm not video averse. I'm not. But anyway, thank you for the images. I'll check those out as well.
Okay, can you have them prepared next time to pull up?
Possibly. I can. Will I or shall I? That remains to be seen. It's not that I'm resistant. I'm not resistant to the idea. I just have to be organized to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So if you do get time to do that, I would appreciate it, because I've got the one where I was talking about climate and how climate works better on a flat Earth than it does on a globe Earth.
Oh, yeah, because that's right. Derek wanted you to explain climate for Big Bump or something. Why the climate works better on the flat Earth than it does on the obvious globe.
Yeah, because the equator doesn't work on a globe because it's quote unquote tilted, right? So if the Earth's tilted, how would the equator actually be the equator? You know,
because it's the center of the world. It's the center line of the world.
Yeah, I sent you the image like.
Are you the one who taught me about the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn?
Yeah, and how because the sun kind of goes, you know, it kind of pulls away and then goes out a little bit throughout the year.
Yeah,
but it doesn't go farther than either of those circumferences. It's not coming to my head right now, but so it's more like a record player, where like if you were to put a sticker on the outside of the record player and a sticker on the inside of the record player, they both go around at the same kind of tempo. But there's a picture right there in your email that shows it all.
Oh, okay. Here, let me open up a new thingy and peruse that. But anyway, are you able to explain it?
So since the sun is closer to the Earth and it's smaller, it's not 100 times bigger than the Earth. It's actually small. It's small relative to the flat plane that we live on. The sun goes around within those boundaries. But since it's only going to, you know, it only goes to the Tropic of Capricorn in the winter and the Tropic of Cancer in the summer, but it's always kind of relatively around that equator. So the equator stays at the hottest right there. And if you were on a globe model, the sun is like 100 times bigger than the Earth or whatever. So the light rays that would be coming from the sun would just plaster the entire face of the Earth, whichever side was facing it. So the difference in temperature from a sun 100 times bigger and 90 million miles away, like 24,000 miles of tilt is nothing. You know, it's like what's 10,000 minus 1 penny. It's like
but it's
9,900. And
it's not so much the distance, I don't think. difference as the angle, the angle difference
I
of the
sent you
rays.
another. I sent you another picture.
I don't see
about
any
the
picture.
angles.
My last email from you.
Oh,
According,
that's the video.
right. That's my
I
last
have-
email from you.
I have two email accounts. So
Oh.
I-
Okay, let me look because I don't get that many emails. It's not that bad. Let me peruse.
Yeah.
When did you send it?
yeah, I sent it like
Today?
10 minutes ago.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
It's right here. Let me see if I pull up the exact time.
Well, anyway, keep talking because I don't see any.
So, yeah,
Sorry.
that, you know,
Not from Vivek, did you? I don't.
Oh no, I sent it. I sent it from this. I sent it from my normal Gmail.
I wonder if it's
I
my
don't see it pops.
spam. Let me check my spam. Oh no. Nope.
So the angle difference, but the angle difference wouldn't matter because the sun's so big that not only are there light rays coming in at an angle from a huge sun,
Yep.
but they're also going straight at the Earth as well. You know, because a sun putting out light would put out light in all directions, but it would also still put out light directly to the Earth and scattered light that would be at an angle. But at 90 million miles away, the scattered light angles they wouldn't even touch the Earth hardly, so they wouldn't even be a factor.
Let me draw a sun. This is the sun, all huge. That looks ugly.
What's going on here? Here.
Okay, there's the sun. That's the sun. And then here, let me draw a ball Earth. Here's the ball Earth. Not exactly to scale. And here's the equator. And then the sun is it's like a floodlight. And it's going,
you're right.
I'll do green rays. It's going, they're all parallel. Ignore that.
Wait,
here.
Yes, there you go. I'm like 15 seconds behind you.
Yeah, of course. And so that one is more direct than this one. And so this is winter time for the northern we're going into winter time for the northern hemisphere and summertime blasting for the southern part of the hemisphere. And wow, I'm pretty good at this. And so this obvious globe is getting summertime down in Australia. It's going into spring, summer for Australia. And it's going into winter for New England.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right. It didn't send. You're right. But there would be more rays. There would be more rays than just that. The sun's not tilted.
But I know, but the sun is the rays are all going. I know, and they go like that, but they're not like the rays don't go necessarily. Maybe a little bit, but the angle is huge. Have you gotten burned?
Yeah.
Have you gotten burned? You don't get burned as quickly in the winter time. You can spend much more time in the sun because it's at such an angle.
All right, I'm sending it to you right now.
Nice.
Let's see if this comes in nice and quickly.
Well, actually, we don't have that much time, but
yeah, I guess we don't have time. Yeah, you know what? It's this phone. This phone's just my Gmail on this phone is so full that it just takes forever to send.
Oh, interesting.
That was the problem. But I'm going to send them to you, and I'll be back to explain, man. I'll go ahead and jump off.
Well, I definitely appreciate you, man. It's fun talking with you.
Cool. Oh, and for modern day debates, man, I'm definitely going to be watching, dude. I want you to study up on some fallacies and have them ready to go. All right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because logical fallacies are just a surefire way to break through all that nonsense. So
you might be right.
But
thanks again, Rob.
I'll be rooting for you, man. All
cool.
Right.
All right. Take care, sir.
All right. Later.
Right.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
All right. So once again, it's Rick, Chris in Georgia, Chuck in New Jersey. You guys are priority tomorrow, I guess. Make sure you have peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. American Anchor Baby coming up next. I got to get out of here. Punchy TV later. Bye.